I'm on here. Let's see. I'm trying this new midnight thing here. See how it works out. See how many people we get on here tonight. Um, hopefully, I told some people I'd be on here at 12 midnight, so let's see if this works out. If we can get some people on here, like at least 10, 15, or 20 people in the next few minutes, we'll keep going with this. We'll check it out tonight. We've got one on here. Okay, we'll wait to see if we get a couple more. Who do we have on here now? We got 3 on here, so we're starting to pick up now. That's good. That's awesome. Let me see. Let me get this color going better. Okay, we're 11 on here. We're really picking up speed, so that's good. So we're going to have some good people on here. See, Justin Mays from Pennsylvania. Here we go. Now we're going. John Wales is on here. You're up late tonight. You've been busy today. Yeah, John, we've been busy today. Well, I haven't been busy for the past couple of days, so I haven't felt too good. And we got Gurkha on here. Let's see, we got New Jersey. Justin Mays, first time here. Welcome, Justin. James Nason. I think I heard that name from England. You've been on here before, I believe. That name sounds familiar. JM. Is you an owl? Yeah, I don't sleep, JM. You know, Florida, I don't get much sleep. I probably get like about 2 hours sleep. I have insomnia, so. But I never really get tired, you know, so I don't know why. Hello from Vegas. There we go. Welcome, Vegas. Let's see, we're up to about 12 people, so we can get started here. You guys got any questions, just shoot them at me tonight, you know. Well, John, you're up late. You must be like an insomniac too, huh? Let's see. You got Florida on board. England. Um, let's see. Yeah, I got some good stuff coming up in the next couple days, guys. Let's see. We're waiting for some questions to start popping up here so we can start this. John Wells. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd join you. There we go, John. Yeah, I thought I'd come on here just to try it out for a midnight run, you know? See how it's going. Hello from Houston. Let's see. Any of you guys want to start a subject, we'll get into it. Hello, everyone. Columbus, Ohio, checking in, home of the beloved Buckeyes. There we go. Ohio. I heard you guys got smashed back there, not in Ohio, but like in Texas and Oklahoma by like hurricanes and hail. Really bad hail, too. Let's see. Guys, I'm on Facebook, too, now. Just FYI, under Steven Johnson, if you guys want to find me. How much spending cash should I bring for 2 weeks vacation? That really depends, Robert. It depends on where you get, what kind of hotels you're staying in, because there's different types of hotels. It's figure on a good hotel about $100 a night if you're staying in Manila. If you get outside of Manila, it's a little bit cheaper. You can go down to like 60, 70 to stay in a decent hotel. I mean, there's other hotels that are cheaper, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend them if you want good food. Does it get hot there at night? Actually, yeah, it does. It gets a little sticky around here. It's sticky here tonight. It was like close to 90 today, and it was kind of sticky, you know. Chuck 55. My daughter lives in the Cleveland area. Let's see. But to get back to you, Robert, yeah, 2 week vacation. I don't know what I'd bring. You know, I would figure. Let's see, 14 days. I'd bring about 3,000. Should be enough. You know, should be enough. Somewhere around there. You can get over here. You can come with less, but you know, you'd probably make it. Bring a couple credit cards just in case. But 3,000, you know, you'd have plenty of money to do everything that you want to do. If you're gonna be traveling around, it depends on where you're gonna be going. If you're going to the islands, stuff like that, flights, all that. Yeah, $300 a day. Chuck says he brought. Let's see, cost plus cost of Airbnb. Actually, Airbnb might be the best way to go, man. That's cheaper, a lot cheaper. Do you ever miss America and how America works, JS? Yes, I do miss America. I miss the mountains. I even miss the snow, believe it or not, you know. But I like it here too. You know, I got my family here now, so it's kind of changed the dynamics. But yeah, I do miss America. I read up on the news all the time. I follow it. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't miss America. There's things I miss about America, but there's also things I like here. I think if I went back though, I'd probably miss it here more. You know. So, let's see. Where do I live? Let's see. Oh, JM's asking, where do you live? He's asking. No, John's asking JM where he lives. 3K include everything, hotel, traveling. Yeah, I would think. Depends on where you travel. If you're going to Mindanao, it's going to be a little bit more. It depends on how much traveling you're doing, Robert. Let's see. Alden Piles says, hello, Stephen All. Candido Gutierrez, Airbnb is the way to go. Yeah, it is. Airbnb, there's some really beautiful Airbnbs here, I must tell you. There's some really nice ones. Even around me, there's some nice ones, and they're fairly reasonable, and they're very beautiful places, too. I've seen some really, they're better than the hotels. And they have pools, too, some of them. Some of them are private pools. Have you heard that Phil will surpass China in GDP? So prices out of this world will surpass China. I don't think that. I think the Philippines will, Don. I think the Philippines will always have low prices. I think there'll be areas that are higher, just like now. I mean, you move up to Manila, Don, and it's more expensive to live up there, and then you move outside of Manila, and it's cheaper. So the Philippines is all islands, so each island is a little bit different than the next island. You can go to Batanes. It's fairly a little bit expensive up there, but not too expensive. You can go to Cebu, it gets a little bit expensive down there too. Then you can go to other places and it's really cheap, like Tracy Martinez, and it's a nice place to live. Let's see. Dalla Maintor. Mainer in here checking in from Stephen Lucy. Okay, Dalla. That's actually my address back there in Maine. In Madison. Madison, Maine. Let's see, lunchtime here in New Jersey. Let's see, JM. No, my name's not John, it's Steve. Smoky Mountain Model, it's Steve. Steve, not John. You're getting me mixed up with John Wales on here. Wow, twice in one day. Yeah, unless you're talking to John, I don't know. I booked an Airbnb at the Venice Mall in Makati. Yeah, actually, you want to know something? I'm actually looking at that place. It's funny that you mentioned that because I'm actually looking to go up to the Venice Mall. I actually was thinking about spending a night or two up there because it looked like a fun place to stay. But with everything going on, we can't do anything here right now because we're on quarantine. Let's see. Okay, thanks. Great answer. Yeah, Don, if you ever have any questions, man, you ever want to call me, send me an email at Steven5975, Steven with a V, at yahoo.com. Okay, if you ever need my email, just ask me again in the comments section. I'll send it to you. I usually do the comments like once a day, twice a day sometimes. And you can call me up and ask me any questions you want. I tell everybody, feel free to call me. If I have the time, I'll talk to you. I have some people that call me sometimes for 2 hours straight. I have no problem with that. I actually enjoy it too. So, used to hang out on High Street back in the day. Let's see. JM, it doesn't get any hotter than August and July in Nashville. Yeah, Nashville's pretty hot, man. Mr. Sparsilis. Let's see. Shout out from Bulgaria. There we go. Nice too. And how are you? And how are things worse or getting better? It's not getting worse. It's not getting better. It's kind of staying the same. Actually, it got worse from about a month ago because a month ago we were doing great here. We were actually doing really, really good. We could go on vacation, we could travel, and now we can't. So we're kind of like in lockdown right now. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Model. I was talking to John Wales, but the same thought goes out for you, Steve. Okay, no problem. I know some of you guys talk between each other. It just messes me up. Oh wow, we're from Sangerville, Maine. Now Sangerville, is that near Madison? Dalla Mentor, is that near Madison? It sounds like an area I've been through before. I've been through almost all those towns up in Maine. Carlos V, hello Steve, been a while. What have you heard about property prices going down? Property prices here always go up. Always go up, but you got to be married to have property here. Okay, unless you own a condo. Condos are always high here. They're really high. They're almost about the same price as back home for some of them. They're not really good deals. But yeah, you can buy a condo over here, or you can lease property and build a house. Let's see. The Philippine Info Channel. Are you aware of any updates as to the SRV program might restart. No, I know they're getting investigated though. If you check on my SRV thing and you look in the description, the links are there, the letters showing that the military, the Army and MBI, which is the FBI over here, the MBI over here is investigating the SRV and they're investigating the China thing. So they're asking questions. Let's see, Gary, son of Larry. Do Filipinos eat bear meat? They probably eat any meat. I know some people right in my neighborhood, they eat dog meat, so that'll tell you something. Let's see, Pork Pie says, great channel, very informative. Thanks, Pork Pie, I really appreciate that. Let's see, Win Duncan, I like the way you don't sugarcoat living on peanuts in the PI. Promote planning ahead and investing. Yeah, Win, I don't like to have any BS on my channel. I mean, these people that are selling you this stuff that you can live on $600 here from age 55 to age 85 when you die is just a bunch of bunk. I mean, it really is. You know, and people that are telling you that you can live on 1,000 or 1,200 till you're 85, you know, that's when you start needing more medical money available, and it's just not true. You know, and then you got the forex, and you got the inflation and the cola stuff all going on. We cover all that. We cover all those bases. I mean, if you guys know, if you guys follow me, that we don't sugarcoat none of that. Are there organic farms around? Yes, there are, Joe. You just have to ask. You know, you can go to farmers around here directly and you can buy organic. Yeah, there are. Especially over in Batangas. Batangas is pretty hot for organic stuff, actually. Really enjoy your content, Steve. Thanks for everything you do. Semper Fi. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. JM, so what good is it to own a building if the building is a property that is not yours? It's just the way the Philippines is, man. You know, I mean, if you get married, you can have your wife own the property and it can go to her. You can do it that way, you know. But that's just the way the Philippines is, because the problem here, I'll explain it to you, JM. This is the way it works, and a lot of you guys might not understand this, but if they open up sales to foreigners, China would own the Philippines, okay? So people would come in here and they just snap up all the land, and it would become China, like almost overnight, literally. Because China's already doing a lot of that now. They're doing it in other ways. They do it in very sneaky ways. It's getting done. Let's see. Gary, son of Larry, I've eaten dog in Southern Leyte. I don't know if I would do that, John. I've heard about it. It's pretty gross. I ate steak and chips for 90 days straight. I don't know if I could do that. That's a little rough. I like steak, though, but I think I'd never eat steak again if I ate it for 90 days straight. You're the only vlogger not trying to make a buck from your viewers. Yeah, man. We don't put any of that Patreon crap on here because I enjoy doing this, and I make money. I do make money. You know, Gary, I do make money. You know, I make a little bit of money off the ads, and I'm happy with the money I get off the ads. I'm not trying to, you know, I don't need to make any more money. A lot of people say they want to donate to me and stuff. I said, no, keep the money yourself, man. You're going to need it for when you come over here. I'd rather see you people succeed. I'm already happy, and I make it over here on my own, so I'm good, you know. Hey, Steve, Sangerville to Madison, we're about 35 miles. Do you know where Dover, Foxcroft? No, I'm not familiar with that, Dalla. Carlos V, thank you for the info. May have missed it, but being able to get the vaccine. Yeah, I'm not sure about that vaccine, man. I at first I was thinking about it, and I says, you know, I just don't think I'm going to get it because I heard about the blood clots, and I've had blood clots before, so, and I know how painful they are, and they're saying some of these other vaccines might have issues now too, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I'd rather get swabbed, you know, and I don't plan on traveling much out of here anyway, so it's not going to hurt me. Are there a lot of Chinese in the Philippines? Yes. And why does China want to have a strong presence there? They want to own Taiwan and the Philippines. It just gives them a lot of protection if they put bases here or something. I think that's what it is. And China's really on the move. There's a video out about why China wants to take over other countries. It's on YouTube, and it talks about that a lot. If you want to, you can check it out. I forget the name of it, though, but I'm sure you can find it on there. See, pork pie, most Asian countries don't want to sell land to foreigners. Then foreigners will run rampant and prices for locals will be unachievable. That's right, pork pie. That's exactly what that's the other you know the other side. But it's also because they don't want countries like China coming in here and taking over. It was smart that they did that. A lot of people think get ticked off about that they can't buy land over here. Just buy a condo, or get married. The dollar has lost 10% of its buying power in the Philippines within the last 2 years. Yes, that's very true because of Forex. Yep, but that could come back, Gregory, too. But it could go the other way too. I think every country in the world right now is pretty even on loans. So I don't think it's going to go much lower. I don't think we're going to lose that much on the Forex as much as I thought we were going to originally. See, Alden Pyle says, nothing wrong with leasing a building. You save the upfront cost of buying the land, and your risk of losing it is all less because you have to walk away. You only lose the building costs. Yeah, that's true. And building costs over here are very cheap. And you can get a re-up on the lease, too. So you can put your wife's name on it and put her on there, and she'd be safe. And most of the leases are pretty inexpensive for land, you know. Let's see, Smoky Mountain Modeler says, at John Wells, I couldn't get drunk enough to eat balut. Yeah, I feel the same way about that. I don't like balut. Gary, son of Larry, says, thanks, my man. I got my money in silver and Dogecoin. Dogecoin. I guess that's what that is. Gurkha9 says, you're a good man, Steve. Really willing to help. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hello, the Philippines is looking more and more better each day. I say this because the way America is going. Yeah, it's very true, man. America's got a lot of issues right now. But we have a lot of issues over here with China right now. But we have America over here at least protecting, the Philippines. And is also, I believe Germany just got involved and some other countries. Good morning, Steve. Just got up and tuned in. Good morning or good evening, everybody. David D says. Don Murphy says, hey, Steve, I had blood clots before, but had Pfizer, no problem. Yeah, I still worry about it, man. I just don't see I don't see that as a regular vaccine because they don't have any of the dead COVID in there. That's the only reason why, I'm a little bit worried about the testing. That's about it. It's not that I worry about vaccines. I worry about this vaccine. It's just, I just don't think it's tested enough. Long term, I'm worried about. I might, if I see it's safe later on, maybe I'd think about it. Right now, I just don't see it. I have nothing against vaccines. I mean, I've been vaccinated before. All of us have. So I'm not pro-vax or anti-vax. A lot of people think I'm anti-vax. I'm not either way. I'm kind of in the middle. I sit in the middle. Smoky Mountain Model, I've been drunk enough, but didn't want to ruin a good drunk by throwing up. That's what John Wales says. John's always the comedian on here. Let's see. Don't buy a condo, you will pay skin tax. No, not necessarily, Gary. They have the prices right out in the open. At least the one here at I believe it's called Hope Residence here in Tracy Martinez. You can actually look them up online. I believe it's called Hope Residences or something like that. And they're on sale. You can check them out online. I think they have a website. I spend $1,500 monthly total, $1,000 on rent. Could I still live on? $1,500 isn't a bad amount to live over here, but long term it might catch up with you later on. That's why I say the $2,000 to $3,000 sweet spot, because you should be able to save money. But if you're on this $1,500 budget, I would live on a $1,000 budget and sock away the $500. You wouldn't live great. If you want to come over here and live a good retirement, man, and be able to travel and do stuff, $2,000 to $3,000 is the way to go. I think even John Wales is on here. He'll tell you the same thing. You need to save money for when you hit that 75 mark because your insurance is going to go up. Unless you self-insure and you have like $100,000 in the bank or something like that, which most people don't have. Your channel is the most informative one I've watched. Thanks for the great info. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we do put a different twist on things than most people. A lot of people don't think about the other things. A lot of people don't talk about the insurance either. Nobody talks insurance. I put the prices right out there. I don't care. K Mike, K Steve, I got my first shot, waiting on my second as soon as the waitress returns. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I heard that joke today. It's getting old, but that's okay. How do you get money at the ATM in the Philippines without charging you? It's my credit union. They refund me at the end of the month, Ken Marapau. Yeah. They refund it. I have Metro Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Okay. Keep your condo in the U.S., Gary says. Yeah, if you want to go back and forth. We have part-time expats over here, and it works out pretty good. But part-time expats aren't working out right now with all this stuff going on. You know, TC, live on $500 a month. Yeah, that's not a good idea. Actually, somebody was talking about that today. There are some SSI changes coming later this year, talking about removing COLA and including a 2 to 4% rate for inflation annually. Yeah, you probably need a 4% rate for inflation the way things are going. I think we're at the 4% inflation rate right now with all the money that they're printing in the United States, Larry. You know, but yeah, I've also heard some things from the guy Hustle Bitch. I think it was him. He said something about a $200 SS raise or something like that. There's a lot of things going on, that things being thrown around. They're also talking about more stimulus in July. One of the things was a $2,000 stimulus or something like that. So I don't know how true that is, but I'm hearing all these rumors out there from a lot of vloggers. I watch a lot of vloggers on the stimulus stuff because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. How old is the youngest expat that you have met living in the Philippines, not traveling? Not traveling? Probably in the 40s. Probably in the 40s, JM. You know, you don't meet too many young people. This guy was from Canada. He was kind of a bum. I don't know what he was living off of. You know, I think he said he had like 1,000 each month or something like that. He wasn't living on a lot. You know what? I think he had 800 a month. That's what he had. It was like 800 a month. Can't blame the PRC for wanting to reclaim Taiwan for its security. Not much different than the U.S. and Cuba in the 60s. Yeah, it was theirs before, but you know what? They've been free for so long now. Why go after it? Just leave them alone. That's the way I look at it. Taiwan's a different country than China. What are the demographics? They want their freedom too. Win Duncan says, what are the demographics of your channel? Are there a lot of younger guys watching in the planning stage? Yes. We have a lot of guys in their 40s, even 10 years out, that talk to me once in a while. And I'm glad to talk to them because I can kind of lead them to save more money at that rate. You know, even 5 years out. And I started like about 5 years out, you know, starting to learn what I needed to do. And I did a lot of research on it. I researched for 4 to 5 years out, you know, so, and anybody that knows me knows that I was talking like 4 or 5 years out about coming over here. So, are there a lot of younger guys watching in the planning stage, or mostly older guys looking to move? Mostly older guys, but we do get a few young guys. He's Gary's son of Larry, 2024. This could go on indefinitely. I don't think it will. I think we'll start opening up to vaccines or swabs. They'll do the IATA passport. Actually, that just got accepted by another airline too. IAT is used for different things through different airlines, but they're joining that passport thing a lot. A lot of the United States ones haven't jumped on yet, but I'm sure at some point they're going to have to do something to go out to other countries. Domestic flights aren't going to be a problem, obviously. It's when you fly out of the country, and sooner or later that'll be dropped. You know, I'm not a fan of Pfizer RNA mode RNA. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the vaccines that much right now either. I mean, I leave it up to the people. I mean, I don't recommend or tell people not to. I leave it up to the people, you know. Any of us vets have had enough vaccines pushed into our bodies to last a lifetime. Yeah, we have. A lot of people don't know that. I remember them shooting it into my arm left and right. Let's see. Uchino Marisa says, hi, Steve. I admire how you live your life in the Philippines. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. John Wales, I spent $17.50 per month last year, and my rent is only $140 a month. And John, that's reason right there why the $2,000 to $3,000 is a good budget, you know, because, you know, even that $750, you know, and you were spending that, you weren't saving any of that. So like if you had $2,000, you could at least save $250 for the future or something like that. So that's that even helps me even more with, you know, the $2,000 to $3,000 thing that we talk about. But everybody's different. I mean, some people might be able to make it all the way, but I just don't recommend it. I think it's dangerous. I've seen too many people fail here. especially when they go to the hospital. I actually know somebody that's having an issue right now because of hospital bills, and it's because they didn't plan, and the guy's in his 70s. So, hey, John Wales, hey John, I hope you're well. Hi from Texas. Hi John. Let's see, Gary, son of Larry. Some boys live on $600 per month. My budget is 2,000. Exactly. That's. And the people that are living on $600 a month, that's dangerous. You know. I mean, if you're in your 50s and you just want to come over here for 10 years, yeah, you could live on low budgets. But if you're coming over here forever, you need higher. Tennessee Traveler, what are you doing up this late? John says. K Mike, you've had some really great videos lately. Appreciate everything you do. Thanks, K Mike. I really appreciate that. I hope they're helping. Go back with some of my older ones too. Some of my older ones are really good if you haven't seen them. I have a lot of good older ones, and I have a lot of good information in there, like on credit cards, on phones, on Magic Jack, all kinds of things. And there's a lot of little nuggets in there. The older ones are actually, some of them are actually better than the newer ones, because I forget things as I get further away from when I originally came here. You know. So some of those ones do have good nuggets out there. Let's see, we're up to 77 people, so that's good. Everything you said on your vlog is true. Thanks, Uchina. I appreciate that. Before leaving the U.S. or their home countries, people should have at least 11 to 15K emergency fund. Yeah, Larry, that's true, man. You should have an emergency fund, plus your startup fund. You should have about 10K in your startup fund for furniture and things like that. All that stuff, electric things, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. Some of those things you got to pay in advance if you're a foreigner over here. Unless your girlfriend does it for you, then it's different. John Wales, Gary, son of Larry, can you live on 600 but not very well? Yeah, 600. That's rough. That's rough living. I think John would agree with me on that. John, could you live on 600 a month? I think that's rough living, don't you? That's like living homeless. I know. What is it? The Brit in the Philippines or whatever his name is there. The guy that lives. I think he lives in Naga City or something like that. He was living on like about 300 and something a month there for a while, and he still lives kind of poverty stricken, and his channel doesn't make that much either, and he still gets help, I think. But I'm not sure. I haven't watched the channel in a while, so don't quote me on that. I don't want to put down the guy or anything. I don't know. I don't know about his channel now. It's just something I heard. If you have any health or lung problems, you need to get a vaccine. Um, if you have blood clot problems, though, I don't know about that. I have lung problems, Rick. I have scar tissue from having pneumonia about 8 times. That's why sometimes you guys see me coughing on here, and some of my older videos you'll see me coughing. Steak is very expensive in the Philippines. I eat porterhouse and T-bone. Yeah, Gary, you go to Prime Steakhouse, man. All you can eat steak for, I think it's about 14 bucks. Let's see, Galloway 737 says 54 here. Della says, hey Steve, so far we have no issue with Pfizer vaccine here in Maine. My husband is completely vaccinated with Pfizer, and I'll have my second dose next week. Yeah, I mean that. Like I said, I'm not pro or anti-vaccine. I just don't think it's right for me. I don't like to jump into that thing because I just don't. People think I'm anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax because I know some vaccines are really good. Okay, I just don't. I'm not sure about this one because it hasn't been around long enough. Yes, there is a possibility of a fourth stimulus package in the works. Looking at 6 months of ongoing checks, 1,400 monthly. That would kill the U.S. I think. I think that's not good for the country. What makes you like the Philippines, and how long have you been living there? This is like my second rodeo, Ken Maripao. This is my second rodeo here. I was married to a Filipina before, and I went through a divorce in the States with her. I've been living here for 3 years now, and like I said, I studied for 4 years before coming back here again about everything. So I really got it down pat and really started looking into everything, Forex, all that stuff, and plan that into making it so that my plan wouldn't fail. Because I knew if I failed, what would I have to go back to? Nothing. I mean, that's the problem. So a lot of people don't consider that. When you fail in your retirement, you have nothing to fall back on except the small pensions that you have. And I didn't want to have that happen. What makes you like? Let's see. No, let's see. TC. Shouldn't people who are vaccinated be able to travel to the Philippines soon? I would think so, but they might open it up to the vaccinated people, but we don't know. And they also said some vaccinated people are still getting it, so that might be a problem. I'm not sure why they are, but they are. Tennessee Traveler, sorry, joined late and went to the beginning to read all the comments. All caught up now. Okay. Do you know of any U.S. Navy SEALs who have retired in the Philippines? I know of a lot of fake Navy SEALs. I'm not sure if I know any real Navy SEALs because everybody that I've met here brags about their Navy SEAL time, okay? And I don't feel that people that brag about their Navy SEAL time are real Navy SEALs. The real Navy SEALs stay quiet. And back in the States, I did know Navy SEALs, and they don't talk about it. That's, and when people start throwing out the word MOS when they're in the Navy, and MOS and rate, I mean, we talked about this in one of my videos, that kind of lets you know that they're probably not real. But in some cases, some people do use MOS because they worked with Marines or something like that, and they heard them use it, so they started picking it up. Better to take vaccine will keep you from having bad results if you get the virus. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's a choice between people. I leave that to people. Some people are getting the shots to come over here. If I was traveling the world, I think I'd have to end up getting it. But I mean, I have no intention on really traveling any place. Maybe I'll go back to the States eventually for a while. But I'm gonna wait till all this calms down. Lots of fake Navy SEALs. Yeah, there is. Mike's Philippine Journey says. I mean, I run into them all the time. There's just way too many. They say for every one na- real Navy SEAL, there's 3,000 fakes. I read that online. I think it was on that real Navy SEAL that outs Navy SEALs. I think he was the one that said that. How much money can you put in a Filipino bank safely? I wouldn't put more than 10,000 because then if you're from the United States, you're going to have issues. So you're going to have to fill out that document or whatever they want you to fill out for things. So just be careful about that, guys. You know. Let me see. Let's see, I'm gonna skip. I just lost. Let's see. Hold on. My thing just. I just lost my spot here. Okay, so I might lose a couple people. I don't know how far people got ahead of me. Oh, okay, we're back. Your lifespan will be reduced 10 years if you move to the Philippines. Probably, Rick. Yes, that's true. Average lifespan of a expat here is about 72. It takes on the same as a Filipino. I'm not sure why, but it's one thing that I've noticed and a lot of the other expats have noticed. I see people dying 68, 72. I rarely see people live past 72. There are some, but not many. Let's see, we built a home in Leyte, hope to move there in a year or two, John says. Pork Pie says if you've got no property back home or a lump sum in the bank, you're going to become unstuck. You face a big problem. Well, you can take money out of the bank. Let's see, Navy Federal Credit Union card only charge you $1 when using ATM overseas. Yeah, I don't know if they refund that to you back at the end of the month, though. We're up to 91 people, which is really good, by the way, guys. Thanks for following tonight. Let's see, Vegas guy in the Philippines says, here forever, finding $3,000 is the sweet spot. What expats need to realize that if they take on a Filipino wife, you not only get a wife, but you also get 35 or more family members. Yeah, and sometimes it's a good thing, man. Not everybody is like asking you for money 24/7 like they say. I don't find that in my family. I offer it when I see people need help, though. I mean, we all here kind of, if you live over here, you just kind of help out the family because they become close to you too. But most people don't keep coming back to you asking you for money, and sometimes there's dirtbags over here just like there is in the United States. So just be warned. Can you break down your bills, like how much you pay for electricity, water, cable, Wi-Fi, cell phone bill? Looking to move soon. My bills are a lot different because Ken, if you look at my budgets, I kind of break it down. My I can I broke down budgets before, and to kind of give you guys an idea. My budget's a little bit different because I have a daughter that's going to college, and I give my girlfriend like 200 a month too. So my budget's a little bit different, but I give you guys ideas of what to use that's a safe budget and stuff like that, and then you can go off of that. And I also talk about giving your girlfriend money, and also giving your girlfriend and family insurance too, which a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of guys when they talk about coming here, they talk about themselves, and a lot of people don't consider that they have a family, and you have to pay for your girlfriend's Phil health, and possibly your family's Phil health too, and you might have to pick up the rest of it. So yeah, I think a lot of channels confuse living on, say, 1,500 a month with an income of more, but only spending 1,500 a month. Yeah, some people confuse, like when I say they're talking about like living expenses. Well, living expenses is also saving for your future, because that's part of your living expenses. Otherwise, you're not going to live later on. John Wells, no, I wouldn't live like that. Yeah, exactly, John. John D, which part of Leyte you build a house? See, Mike, Stolen Valor is pretty damn sad. Yeah, it is, man. We talk about that. Like, I think we did 2 videos on that so far. Like I said, I was a cook on a submarine, and no secret squirrel stuff in this house. Do you still maintain your house or a place to stay in the U.S. if ever you have to go back to the U.S.? Yeah, my sister would take me in for a while if I had to. But I don't think I'll ever have to. I have money that if I had to go back, I could rent a place, and I know people I could rent off right away. I don't have a problem about that. Alden Pyle, I watch the Brit from time to time, and he seems to have a lot of Patreon patrons. It'd be awful if he didn't have them. Yeah, I kind of got that impression, man. I watched him a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I stay away from that, because it makes you look bad. I mean, nothing against him or anybody that does it. It's just not my thing, man, because, I'm on here to help you guys. I really don't need the money. If you want to help me out, watch my ads. That's what I'll tell you. Watch my ads. I've had the AstraZeneca one with no problems. That's good, Brian. If you have 100,000 or 200,000 in savings, would you be able to live on $500 a month? I have fun biking and going to health club, $10 to $20 a month. You wouldn't be able to live here forever, man. No. Look at my sweet spot budget, and you'll understand a lot more, TC. It'll kind of break down my thoughts on why you need a good budget. But $500 a month, no, 100K, because that's going to have to cover your insurance and stuff too, or self-insure. $500 a month is just it's not good living. Every man has a story on YouTube. Mark says you can live on $800. Rick, you can live on $800, but the question is it good living? And it's really not. I mean, he lives in a $400 home right now. I've seen his house on one of his videos. I watched him for the first time the other day, and he has a $400 home. I know he's moving to the beach though, and yeah, you can live on $800, but it's not good living. You're not gonna be able to go out every day. You're not gonna be able to go to the malls. You need to buy clothes and shoes and stuff like that. And a lot of these guys aren't really sitting down and doing a real honest to goodness budget of what you really need to live. And their style of living might be different than yours. Keep that in mind, because most Westerners are used to a certain lifestyle, and a lot of these guys live on a lesser type of lifestyle because they're used to living like that. So just keep that in mind, man, just to be safe. Steve, what do you think of cryptocurrency? Does the Philippines accept Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin's pretty big over here. Crypto's really big over here too, man. Uchino, Marisa. I do a little bit of that stuff on Coinbase, not much. I get all their free crypto on there. I've invested in it. I've made some money on there before. I made some money on Litecoin. I made about $1,200 one time. All you can eat steak, $14. No need to cook. I'm there. Yeah, that's probably where we're gonna have our meeting. We're gonna be doing a meeting with a bunch of people once all this garbage is over. We'll probably have a bunch of expats show up there. It'll be SM Dasma, Das Marinas. Let's see. I agree. There's no such thing as free money. Yeah. Gary, son of Larry. Depends on where you live. No steak on my island. John, you guys don't have Prime Steakhouse here? Because that's a franchise. Nancy Eris says, hello, good evening, sir. Shout out from Kuwait. Hey, Nancy. It's good to see you on here. I see comments on there quite often. That's good. It's good that we have a girl here. Let's see. Galloway, Steve, pretty much same story here. Stationed there, 80s, married Filipina, moved back to the USA and divorced. Now, that seems to be the story of most Americans that take them back to the US. Research, planning now, and your info is a great help. MOS 6143, LOL, yeah. Navy SEALs are SAS, never talk about what they do or what they have done. That's my experience. That's true, Brian. That's very true. Ricky, we have a lot of SEALs here, but they get eaten by polar bears. Yeah, there we go. I actually read a story. It's funny that you mentioned about real seals, like the animal seals, because I read a story about a guy that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, and a seal rescued him. He kept bringing him to. He brought him up to the surface, and it's a YouTube story. I think I posted it on my Facebook. I think I posted it on there anyway. But you can also find it on there. It's an interesting story though about the guy that tried to commit suicide. And on the way down, he realized that he didn't want to commit suicide, but he actually survived, which is kind of cool. And hitting that water from that distance is pretty bad. The vaccines don't prevent all risk of infection, but greatly reduce the chances of hospitalizations or death. Yeah, so vaccinated people can still potentially infect others. Yes. So that's why I really don't see the point in some way, because I thought it was all about, helping other people not get it. But maybe herd immunity will take over at some point. I never thought about the MOS thing. I was in the Air Force. Yeah, Air Force is different. I think some people think it's easier, so I just go with it. Yeah, the Air Force you guys have a different thing than MOS. You guys use a different term, right, Jay? Because I know in the military, and with the Navy, we always use rate or rating, and I think the Coast Guard is the same as us, same as the Navy. Just take your vitamins and protein shake, much safer than vaccines. Thanks for your down-to-earth content. Thanks, man. What's it, Mubin Orchard or something like that? Or Orchid. I'm not sure which it is. I've been here 10 years, came here with nothing but what was on my back, literally, at the time I was getting about, looks like it was 1,100 a month, but he's got like an extra one in there. I don't think it was 11,000 a month on my military retirement. Yeah, it must have been 1,100. I live in Cebu. Hi there, everyone. I finally made a live stream. There we go. Monty Joe 01. It's good. We're going to do more of these more often. I'm going to do some at night too. So if I do them, I'll do them at 12 midnight. John Wales says, I think the banks here only insure up to 250,000 pesos. I think you're right, or about 5,000. I think you're right, John. I think I heard that too. I think it's like 250,000 pesos. If I remember seeing the sign there. Kevin Doolittle, 1,100, that is. Okay. That makes more sense, Kevin. Are most expats buried in the Philippines when they died, or they normally send them to the U.S.? I don't know. A lot of these guys are vets, and they get buried up in Clark. So, from the ones that I've seen die over here, they've gone up to Clark so far. Some people have their ashes, but I actually have a funeral on here. So if you want to see it, it's an expat. We spread his ashes over the ocean. It was a friend of mine's boyfriend, and she wanted to take him and have his ashes spread out over the ocean. It's actually a nice video. You can go back and watch it. It was down at in Batangas. We did it. We took him out on a boat, and we it's a really beautiful video too. Let's see, Brian says, press thumbs up. Win Duncan, Charles Schwab will refund all ATM fees. Yeah, we talk about that quite often on here. You're right. Gary, son of Larry, when we're drawing money from an ATM machine in the Philippines, make sure a Navy SEAL is nearby. Yeah, there we go. Good job with the late nights live. It's midday here in the U.S. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it up because I know there's people all over the world that follow us. We get people in India and everywhere. Might be better to buy cheap land in Arizona and live off grid. Yeah, some people do that. So that's why I talk a little bit about these people like that are the van lifers and stuff like that. And they go out to Arizona and live off grid in their vehicles. and they travel around and they actually enjoy it. The campers, living in their campers and stuff. It's kind of a cool lifestyle. Being an expat could be tough for some people if you're older, and that's why I want to tell people out there that there's different lifestyles. And it's not just being an expat in the Philippines or anything like that. You can also take off in the United States and travel the United States and live in cheap areas like Nevada, Arizona, places like that, and live off grid and live on BLM land and live in a camper or something like that. People do it. It doesn't mean you're homeless. I mean, look at Bob Wells. They have that new movie now called Nomad Land. It's kind of interesting. And that's why I tell people I don't want people thinking that, if you come over here you lose your Medicare and Medicaid. So if you're older, it's something to think about staying back there. And I'm not, I don't want people to, sell people a dream over here. And that's why I'm realistic about, surviving over here on a certain budget. You really need to think it out before you come here, because it's not what some people think. This isn't heaven over here for some people. Sometimes it's hell if you don't have enough money. Let's see, Mo says, well, that's the Filipino culture. If you married a Filipino, you marry her family as well. Yeah, it is. See, Jeff says, Rick E., land in Arizona isn't as cheap as it was anymore. Too many Californians moving in, driving up prices. Yeah, there is a lot of people leaving California now. John Wills, the Smoky Mountain modeler, that's how I do it. I have a local Philippine bank. If your budget is $2,000 per month, tell your girlfriend it's $1,000 per month, Gary says. Yeah, okay. My girl's pretty cool about that. My girl, one thing I can say about my girl is I don't have a problem with her asking me for money. She gets $200 a month, so she's fine. Scott Ramey says, hello from Charleston. Glad you're online. I can catch you. Hey, Scott. It's good to see you from Charleston, man. That's where I was stationed. I think we talked before about that. I actually own 3 rentals down there, too. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Models says, thanks, John Wales. Rick E. or Idaho. Idaho's good, too. And Nevada, I think lower Idaho, actually. You correctly mentioned that expats lose the use of their Medicare, but it's not that simple. I recall reading that typically people on Medicare still spend over $150K out of pocket for medical over time. Yeah, but it's good to have that for some people. But over here, you can still get insurance or self-insure, because the medical costs over here are way cheaper than the U.S. Way, way, way cheaper. But if you saved throughout your younger years and come over here, or you have a home that you can take money from, you can live over here really good. The question is, a lot of people they come over here and they have nothing. They're living on 600 or 800 and they got no savings. Because a lot of guys have been wiped out by divorce, things like that. And we've all talked about that in some of my videos and stuff. A lot of guys got wiped out by divorces, lawsuits, lost businesses or whatever. And that's the problem. Divorce is the biggest one. Every time you go through a divorce, you lose half of what you own. I recently took out a life insurance policy in my girlfriend's name as the beneficiary, so whenever I pass, there is enough money to cremate me and for her to live. Yeah, it's a good idea, man. I highly recommend people get some sort of life insurance policy, preferably whole life. Some people don't believe in whole life. I tell people get whole life because in an emergency you can use that money too. It's just good to have. I mean, you can put the money on the side too if you don't want to do the whole life policy. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but that's just me. In the early 80s, I was a mine man in the Navy. Let's see, in the early 80s, I was a mine man in the Navy. There were about 1,600 of U.S. in the world. Never wanted SEALs. Let's see, Larry Fanilia, not me. I want to be worth more alive than dead. There we go, John. Wells family journey. Gary, son of Larry, that's a smart thinking. Yeah, it is. Your internet seems very good compared to others in the Philippines. Yeah, the internet here is really good. We have what was it? It's a Chinese one. I forget the name of it. Hello from Norway, and Norwegian and Poland. From the Norwegian and Poland. Okay, so it's not from Norway. Okay, Sander. Welcome aboard, Sander. Oh, Rodriguez, you never take the ferry from Batangas to Puerto Galera? No, not yet. I'm planning on going over there, man. I was invited over there by somebody. Might have even been you. I have to look through my emails. They said I could stay there and I could do a video on the place. With all this talk about steak, it's making me hungry. There we go, Jeff. Yeah. John Wales, Steve, I never heard of prime steak. I'm in the province. I know that they're on other islands, I believe, John, but I'm not 100% sure where they are. I know that they're up in Manila and they're down here, so I know that they're a franchise. When I went to Thailand, I went to a lot of restaurants where they bring you raw meat and you cook it yourself in a little stove in your table. Do they have that there? Not that I know of. I'm sure they probably do up in Manila. Up in Manila they do. Not around here. Hey Steve, checking in. Actually, I take that back. At the Korean place in the mall, they do have that. JM, they do have cooking. They do have it. Hey Steve, checking in from the ophthalmology clinic at Lackland Air Force Base. There we go, man. Thanks for serving, man. John Wales, ha ha ha. Let's see. Cake Crypto is having a good run in the last few weeks, Gary says. Mr. Steve Palms, 2 Pfizer shots now. Hope Philippines will let tourists in soon. Let's hope they do. John Wales says, Wells family journey. Hey, Wells family. Ken Maripau, how do you get used to rooster noise? I don't. I eat them. You know, my girlfriend's pretty good at trapping them, and we eat them. And we actually do eat them. People think I'm joking when I say that, but we do. We eat them. Because there's a lot of wild chickens in our area. We have a ton of wild chickens that they mate down the woods. Matter of fact, I was in the backyard the other day, and I saw about 30 chickens underneath all the leaves down there, you know, pulling out like insects and stuff. If you are vaccinated and catch it, the symptoms are much milder. Yeah, probably, but I don't see the point in getting a vaccine if you're still going to get it. But that's just me. Like I said, it's not a subject I like to get into because people think I'm anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax because some vaccines are good for you. You need them. Hey, John Wales, thought I saw you a few times on this channel. Let's see. Kevin Doolittle was in Olongapo in 1990, 91. That is when I decided to live in the Philippines, but back then the money was 30 to 1. Yeah, it's a lot different nowadays. Let's see, Wells family journey. Of course I support Steve. He's a good man. Thanks, John. Craig Gallup, what percentage of American expats there are vets? It's a good question. I'd say higher than 50%, but you also have expats that are here from like Australia and stuff like that too. So, but you're talking about American expats. I would say the majority of them are probably vets, but some aren't. Maybe as high as 80%, I would say, Craig, if that answers your question. I mean, that's just my guess. Let's see, Wells Family Journal. John Wales, like his insight, learning so much from his lifestyle. Thanks, Wells family. Kevin Doolittle, I was thinking of being cremated. They have a card you can buy here. And they'll cremate you if you have that card. You just hand the card over when you die, and they cremate you. And I don't know how much they cost. I think it's like $600 or something like that. Kevin, I grew up in Subic, and I saw Longapo regularly. I hope to be back soon. See my old house in high school. Let's see, John Wales, Wells Family Journal, thumbs up. Let's see, John Wales, Craig Gallup, I've only met ex-Navy SEALs here. Follow the weather, meet bunches of people. Let's see. Don Murphy says, yes, Steve, bank fees are horrible. I use HSBC branches in the Philippines. No charge all over the world. They're all over the USA too. That's good to know. Don Murphy, huge branch in Cebu. Kevin Doolittle, Craig, I'm a vet, retired in 95. Win Duncan, you can live in Thousand Trails RV parks year-round for like $550 a year after a $3,500 second-hand buy-in. Have to change parks every couple of weeks. That's pretty cool, you know. And plus, you can live on BLM land, and there's parks that you can stay in for like long-term parks out in Nevada for like I think it's like I think you spend like $350. You can spend there for like 6 months or something like that, or someplace cheap, you know. Steven Universe is racist. I don't know what that's about, but we did talk about your time here in Charleston. Okay, yeah, Scott, I remember you now. Thanks for remembering. Talk again soon. The videos are great. Thanks, Scott. I remember talking to you. I talked to so many people. I don't remember everything, but if if we talked, I'm sure I'd remember. I don't know if it is possible if you know you are spending the rest of your life in the PI. Can you get rid of the Medicare and use the cash towards insurance Yeah, Smoky Mountain model, you could, I'm sure you could do that, but like if you ever needed to go back or something, you have to make up all that. You have to, there's, you, it just gets kind of funky, and you may want to go back in the future if things get really bad, unless you can afford um, like a nursing home here. And I don't know what your money, your pensions are like, because you can a lot of people can certainly afford like to stay in like a nursing home over here if they had to. And some people end up spending time in a nursing home, and then some people end up going home from the nursing home too. They just use it for rehab or whatever. But it's something to think about. It's a big step. That's why I tell people there's a lot to think about. If you ever want to talk about stuff like that, in more detail with me, feel free to give me a call. You can send me an email and at Steven5975, and we can talk about that, and I'll fill you in more. At Steven Universe Races. Yeah, I'd like to know what that Galloway. You're right. What is that comment about? I don't know what that's about. Medical costs in the U.S. is out of hand, 15K to 2K. In the Philippines, you can get insurance and live far better than here in the U.S. Yeah, you can, man. It's true. I know a lot of retired folks unable to make it in the U.S. Many homeless. It's very true. Yeah, it's sad. That's why we talk a lot about things. This guy, Steven Universe, I think you're gone, man. Remove. You're done. Let's see. Gary Gibson, you can decline Part B Medicare, but they will probably request that you interview in person so they can tell you the risk of that. Maybe, yeah. Wong says, I would hold the roosters underwater till the thrashing stops. Yeah, sometimes they take you off. Steven Universe, I know what you are. It's usually what you claim. Be gone. He's gone. Scott, he's gone. I took him off. Let's hope he doesn't come back on. Philippines is really expensive. It's getting expensive, man. Thanks at Gary Gibson. Let's see. Thomas says Illinois had first fully vaccinated person had the Illinois had the first fully vaccinated person die of COVID-19 yesterday. That's interesting to hear. So that's why I'm kind of like up in the air about this whole junk. Does Mr. John Wales have a YouTube channel? He should have one. I think I've seen him as a guest on Sunshine Shoulders a few times. Yeah, he is on there. He's on there quite often. He comes on here too. John's a good guy. Vaccine is to prevent you from death. You can get sick, but no deaths if vaccinated. Well, I guess that just changed in Illinois. I think people here think you should get a vaccine because of your lung history. I do too, but up to you. Yeah, Craig, I know I got the lung history, but I'm not so sure about this thing. I just have funny feelings about this. Other vaccines I agree with 100%. Like I'm going to get a Hep B vaccine pretty soon. I should have got it earlier. My doctor was supposed to take care of it. She forgot. Did you get any common vaccines stateside before leaving the U.S.? I've read that a few are recommended before traveling. Yeah, I got the pneumonia before I left. I didn't get any of the other ones. The dengue one's kind of dangerous. JM No Channel. John Wales says, but I'm on Calvin's channel once a week. Anders Streisfeld, come and visit Sweden. Anders, yeah, man. I'd love to visit Sweden. I got family over there. I got my niece lives over there. I got a lot of family over there on one of the islands. If you mentioned the island, I'd know the name of the island. But I have tons of family over there. The universe guy is a troll. Yeah, he's gone. Craig Gallup, Part B, 10% penalty. Yeah, something like that. And Dwayne Frechette says, late. Welcome, Dwayne. Dwayne's a good friend of mine back home. Wells Family Journey. Steve got a question. With food prices rising, why do more Pinoys not try to grow own veggies in the area they live in? I'm not sure. I know we grow pineapples here, and we have some wild peppers. We've grown vegetables out here. My girlfriend grows a lot of plants out here. You probably see them in the videos. Let's see. Steve, you have the best channel. Thank you for giving us info that we don't want to hear. Yeah, it's kind of true. Some people don't like to hear it, but I tell them. Dwayne Frechette says, I'm homeless by choice. Dwayne's like a nomad, and he lives in a van, but he lives like that by choice. It's kind of interesting. He's a good friend of mine. So there are other choices besides being an expat. That's what I try to tell people, and some people enjoy it. Are American food brands in the Philippines expensive? Um, yeah, in most cases, yes. John Wales says, Ken Maripau, yes, all imported and expensive. Brian Adamson, Roosters, I say live and let live. No, not in this neighborhood. Rick says, why so many roosters there? You only need one rooster to service many hens. Yeah, I don't know why they have that many, man. Gotland. Okay, I'm not sure where that is. Um, my niece lives in the main capital, I think she lives in. So you're just back from lunch, restaurant, played national anthem at lunch. Really strange. Okay. Larry Familia says, before coming to the Caribbean, I got Hep B, tetanus, and yellow fever vaccines. Yeah, I used to go to the Caribbean. I used to go to Belize. That's considered part of the Caribbean. You wouldn't think so because it's in Central America, but they do consider it the Caribbean. Follow-up question about getting common vaccines. Did you get that through the VA or private doctor? You can get it at the VA. I haven't gotten a shot, and I don't think I'm going to get it. I may at some point have to get it, but I'm waiting. You can make up for some or all of the Part B Medicare premium with, this is Gary talking, some Medicare Advantage plans. The amount you can save is determined by your zip code. Okay, interesting to know. Galloway says that Rodriguez, good to be up to date with tetanus booster. Yeah, I'm allergic to the tetanus shot. I actually had a bad reaction with that. Yellow fever and typhoid, Hep A and B. I highly recommend Hep B at least, possibly A and B. Lorna Arat, hi, I'm from Bagtas, Tanza, Cavite. She's right from right near me. My Japanese American boyfriend always watching your show. Tell him thank you, Lorna. I appreciate that. Um, Bill Poole, if you grow vegetables when ripe, disappear. Yeah, sometimes they do. We have tomatoes out here and stuff like that. They disappear sometimes. Dwayne Frechette, houseless, not homeless. Okay, he's correcting me, I guess. I guess I said it wrong. Um, Living here in the U.S. seems too boring, Mr. Steve. Yeah, it can be boring over here. I mean, I'm on quarantine right now, so it's boring as can be, you know. But when we're not on quarantine, we live pretty good over here. Hi, watching from Taiwan. Thanks, Jeannie. Cliff Diggs says hi. Brian Adamson says they have them for fighting. Yeah, the cocks over here, the roosters over here are for fighting mostly. I want to move to the Philippines. Can I? You can, but I would watch my videos about budgets first. Uh, Wong says, who do you like in the Kentucky Derby? I haven't really followed that. William Berry, a little late. Think rental rates will increase when tourist visa open up. Maybe in some areas. I don't think in my area much. I don't think that'll affect it here. A lot of expats don't come here. I'm not sure why, but it's a great area. Ariel Batista, how can you get it there if you did not retire in the military? I'm not sure. You probably have to get the regular shots. William Berry, number 11 for Derby win. 250 million have vaccine, less than 5 have died. I am waiting to see if international travel requires mandatory vaccination. Then I will have no choice but to take the vaccine. And then Craig says, expats can sign up for Medicare Advantage. Polycarp, Van Life saying hi. Hey, how you doing, Polycarp? Enjoying the stream. Thanks, man. Maximus, I am currently holding off as long as I can see how the vaccine is affecting people. That's the way I feel. And Dwayne says, no, you didn't say it wrong, Steve. I'm just making a point. Okay. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, you can see rooster fighting arenas and a bunch of barangay by my girlfriend's house. They're all closed now because of social distancing. Jeannie Torres, where are you now in the Philippines? I'm in Tracy Martirez, Jeannie. Brian, dude, is Belize cheaper to live in or the Philippines? I would say the Philippines is catching up to Belize pretty quickly. You know, but you can live in Belize fairly cheap too if you go inland. If you live on the coast, it's expensive. I'm 100% service connected. So you could get all your service connections taken care of in Manila, Cliff. Gary Gibson at Craig Gallup. Why can't expats sign up? I'm going to sign up and then go to the Philippines. Paul says, do you connect your computer through cell phone? No, we have regular Wi-Fi here, but I could do it that way. Some people do. Curious about load rates in the Philippines. You can get some good data on your cell phones here, and I've actually done live stuff on Facebook, and it's clear as day. Goes over Facebook, and people say, "Man, you must have really good service on your phone," and I'm just using a regular card. Hi from Rockford, Illinois. Would like to come and visit in July of 2022 to see if I would like to retire there. Yeah, try it out first, man. But try Airbnb. Subway in Manila, growing to west. I don't know. I haven't heard much about that. Belize is on the Caribbean Sea, so yes, it's considered part of the Caribbean. Larry says, yeah. Before you moved to the Philippines, what was the longest that you stayed when you were visiting? When I was visiting, I think I come like about, I think I came for about a month or something like that. And I came a few times. I actually married a girl here before, and I knew a lot about the Philippines. I had read a ton of stuff about the Philippines. Do you have any serious idea about when the Philippines open up? I mean, I'm guessing probably like September or something. Maybe December. Probably more likely December. How was the response being on your vet expat monthly or quarterly get-togethers? Actually, we did pretty good on that. We're going to talk about that more in the future sometime. I'll probably do a live stream on that. I know if I was there, I would like that type of thing. Yeah, we got a lot of people, probably as many as 100. So maybe like 50 might show up. Who knows? It's hard to tell. 75 plus, only tourists, not SRRV. Yeah, 75. I would say, yeah, stay on the tourist visas for some people, because it's so expensive, especially for 75 up. Gary, I'm currently an expat and I can only sign up for A and B, not Advantage. Not sure about signing up before leaving. Let's see. Koalas puked. It's the eggs of the hen that are fertilized. The male ratio is about 50-50. So wild roosters are the byproduct of wild mating. Tennessee Traveler, hey Steve, the lady I spoke to at the VA Manila the other day said once all veterans registered at the Manila VA have their shots, if they still have vaccine, they will start shots to Americans. That's probably true. That's what I figured too. Because the VA Manila is part of the embassy, by the way. It's on embassy grounds. Can you find a decent house to rent for 150 in the countryside of the Philippines? Yes, you can. It's possible. Actually, that's very possible. Depends on where you are, though. Some places are cheap, some places are expensive. Retired Master Chief here, live in Silang, but in States now. Wife currently in Silang, so waiting till I can come back without her. That's pretty close to me, man. That's not far. Um, let's see. Craig says Advantage is based upon zip code. If you move abroad, you don't really have a zip code anymore. Yeah, it's kind of true. Wong says I think there will be so many rentals available that the prices will be stable. Yeah, I don't think the prices will change that much because there's enough around here. Actually saw a couple rentals today out there while walking around. 11 the guy wants to take his 11-year-old son. Cliff says if I fly there at the end of the year, do they just quarantine me and my son together? I don't think at the end of the year they'll be quarantining anybody. I think that'll all be gone by then. But and we don't know. That changes from day to day. They have like 7 days, 14 days, 3 days. I don't know. I don't know what it is right now, Cliff. I wouldn't even be able to tell you because I haven't heard anything on that in a while. Let's see. In general, sorry, ran out of characters. LOL. Yeah, too many wild roosters is a problem. Unfortunately, Belize is about 50% more expensive than the PI. Yeah, Larry, that's probably about true out on the outer islands and stuff like that. But when you go into like San Ignacio and some of the other places, it gets pretty close to the Philippines. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's pretty close. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says they probably don't have many plans there for like unlimited data for set rate on phones. Hear about the loads. Yeah, the loads you can get a monthly load um, fairly cheap. And you can go by weekly or whatever, and it gives you enough. I have plenty of data. I don't have any problems. Let's see. Gary says, Craig Gallup, I have virtual mailbox at iPostal in Texas. Only cost me $10 a month to keep a USA address. They will scan my mail for a fee, and I can see my mail online. Yeah, that's actually a good take. I might actually do a thing on that too. That's good to know the name of that. I'll have to look into that. That might be a good video. Thomas Riddle, hello, Master Chief. Much respect. FC1 here, haha. Ken Maripal, why are the mall in the U.S. small compared to a third world country? That's a good question because the malls over here are pretty good size. Jeannie Torres, okay, sir, thanks. I'm from Davao, but I'm living in Taiwan for 10 years. The Philippines is hard to raise kids, especially I'm single mom because the salary is not enough to support my 5 kids. Wow, 5 kids, Jeannie. That's good to be able to support them, though, even if it's long distance. I'm a veteran planning on getting SRV if it's open back up. I'm planning on renting in Mactan, Newtown. I'm 65 and want to be comfortable. I think Cebu will be a good base to travel from. Cebu's not bad. It's a little expensive. Thank you, brother. You guys take care. Thanks, Cliff. Craig Gallup. Yes, Gary, it depends on whether you're honest or not to Social Security and Medicare about where you're really living. Yeah, that makes a difference, man. I think they might catch up with you somehow. Do you know any expats that shipped over their vehicles? Yeah, it's expensive. I only ask because I never see any convertibles in the Philippines, and I have an older, inexpensive one that shouldn't cost too much to import. There's taxes and stuff on that. I'm not sure if you can go if you can move ones over here that are over 5 years. Somebody mentioned that the other day. I don't know if that's true, but because I haven't shipped a vehicle over here, I don't even have a vehicle over here. I don't even have a scooter or nothing. We're actually due to come home to the Philippines this year, maybe as close as months. Well, maybe 3 months, he means. We haven't had the vaccine yet. Hopefully, it won't be required. I think you can come over here even if you're swabbed. Let's see. Look up the IATA pass because that has like things that you can get swabbed, but you may want to do some research on that. I did a story about that the other day. There's more movement on that today. Let's see. John Wales says Ken Maripal rented a house in the remote part of Southern Leyte for $37.50. Even had air conditioning and hot water in the shower. Yeah, I don't think you could do that today though, John. Maybe you could. I don't know. Depends. I know people find deals out there. Is the SRRV only for vets? No, it's not. But they do have one for vets. It's called the courtesy visa, Rick, and it's very cheap. You can do the whole thing for less than $3,000. I can even help you with it. If you need help on that, you can email me or just put a comment in the comment section for my email. Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Okay? Steven5975 at yahoo.com. I can explain it to you, and I'll give you my phone number if you want to talk about it. Just ask me for the phone number in the email. Can't wait to escape California. Downloaded the new IATA travel pass app, savings dollars living in the Philippines. Yeah, I think that's going to become the regular thing over here. I know Philippine Airlines just is using it, and a lot of other people here are. Dwayne Frechette, South Dakota is better. America's mailbox. Might be, yeah. You can't bring a car older than 3 years. Okay, that's good to know, John. Thanks for putting that out there, man. Somebody else said 5 years. I have smart P49 for 30 unlimited calls and text to any network, 4 gigabytes of data. I know they have other ones too, right? Tennessee Traveler, because I've gotten better plans than that. I think I got 8 gigs or something like that, but they keep changing their stuff, their deals. Maximus says, "Oh, Rodriguez, importing used cars to the Philippines is very expensive. You will probably pay new car prices at import taxes to get your car into the Philippines. Better to buy a car there." Wow, Gurkha 9. Let's see. Craig says, any thoughts about Iloilo City? Iloilo, I've been down there. I used to have a jeepney down there years and years ago. Back in the 90s, I had a jeepney business down there. Never made a nickel off of it because my wife took all the money. John Wales, did you rent at Mason City? Let's see. Graham Pierce says, I hate the humidity and the heat in the Philippines, but love the lifestyle. Yeah, it's actually hot in the living room right here. The bedroom, we have air conditioning. I'm sweating right now. That rental, John Wales says, the rental house was in 2019. That's pretty good, John. That's a rarity. How is the housing market there for buying? I am watching property channels there, but they show 15 million peso upwards or houses. You can buy some cheaper houses than that. If you're married, though, you have to be married. Wong says, Rike's latest video is hilarious. I don't really watch Rike. Rike drags his stuff out. He gives you 5 minutes worth of information and it takes him 2 hours to explain it. I've actually talked to Rike on the phone before, and Rike is very long-winded in his stuff. I think he tries to drag out his videos. I hate to put people down, but Rike really knows how to drag a video out. You know, I'm not saying he doesn't give out information, but he's got some other issues going on now too. So he's back in the States, I heard. I don't know what's going on, but he's very long-winded in his videos. Like, I'll keep my videos short and just try to get the information out there and not try to drag it out for another 20 minutes just to get a couple more ads in. It's just not worth it. Airbnb stats show units are being discounted $200 to $400 a month. You can bet that we'll go back to normal if not more when they open up. Maybe. Who knows? We don't know. Yeah, Airbnb is down. You can get Airbnb very cheap over here now. Would you get vaccinated, Hep B or yellow fever shot before going? I'd definitely get that. I don't know about the yellow fever. I would definitely do the Hep B though, William Medeiros. Tennessee Travel, Steve, yes, same plan, but increments of more data with commensurate price increases. Yeah, I usually do the bigger ones. I never run out of anything. I did look up IH, can't use it. I don't have that kind of cell phone, only a cheap one. Okay. Hate talking on the phone. Jeannie Torres says, yes, I can handle my kids even far. All my kids are good and smart. Now they have work already. I want to go home next month, but there's a lot of protocol to be followed. Yeah, there is, Jeannie. It's kind of sad for you OFW workers, actually. I hear a lot of stories, and they're not good stories for traveling. Some of you guys are stuck. Rike is okay, but you're right. Long-winded, DJ says. Yeah, I mean, I don't put down people. I just tell it like it is, you know. Hello, Filipino from Dubai. Okay, Kriza. You must be an OFW worker, huh, Kriza? Naomi, why did you have so many kids, Jeannie Torres? Let's see. It's a question for her. Thinking of building a duplex in the Philippines and make it an Airbnb. Yeah, some people do stuff like that, man. You could, for that matter. Foreigner can lease a house or condo without being married to a Filipino. Yes, it's true. Jeannie Torres. Hi, Naomi. It's God's gift to me. Ha ha. Let's see. I'm happy mom loved my kids. That's good, though, Jeannie. Naomi. Yeah, but don't complain. Life is hard when you have 5 kids. San Juan La Union looks great. Nice beach. Yeah, San Juan La here's the San Juan La Union vlog too, guys. It's also, if you want to live up in that area, he has a vlog up there. They have a vlogger out of there. He's really good too. What are your upload and download speeds? I think it's 70 Mbps, both up and down, but it changes. Some nights it gets bad, but most of the time it's pretty decent. It's good right now. Good morning, Steve. Simply Rocco says, DJ Kuhn, I did tetanus, yellow fever, Japanese encephalitis too. Wong says, Rike's mom was sick, that's why he was leaving, but he got COVID before he left and tells the story about the quarantine and the trouble he had. Yeah. Brian Adamson, foreigners can own a house and a lot in the Philippines, but you can own a condo. If you have a Filipino wife, then you can buy a house and a lot with the wife's name and yours. Yeah, that's true. Ken says, what are your long-term stocks right now? SRET. Look up SRET. Okay, it's a REIT ETF. I think Tesla's going to go back up because it's going down right now. Now's a good time to buy Tesla. I think anyway. But don't follow my advice because I'm not an advisor on that. I mean, I just tell you what I think is good. Most of my stuff has gone up. You know, I mean, they bounce around a lot. Right now, they're bouncing. All the ARK investments are bouncing around, but they'll go back up over the long term. You have to be married or buy a condo. I may be wrong. To buy a condo, no, you don't have to. Yeah, let's see. Ucho Marisa says, Steve, I can't donate on your live stream. I don't need any donations. You know, if you want to help me out, just watch my ads. So I tell people, I don't need any donations. You know. Jeannie Torres says, spent a lot of money when I came back in Taiwan, sir. Steve, quarantine here. It's 10,500. And let's see. Yeah, I think I heard that before, Jeannie. I think you put that up before. It's interesting. It's a lot of money. DJ Kuhn, we have house in MRTO Manila and Leyte also have KL Malaysia. Good evening from Philly. What are your thoughts about the lockdowns and opening those borders this year? Yeah, we don't know, man. That's a tough question because we're in lockdown right now and it's not fun, you know. Michael L., I would never buy property in the Philippines, especially a condo. Let's see. Mr. Steel Palm says, planning to load up on immunizations, yellow fever, measles, and polio. Yeah, all those are probably good to get too. Of course, my best deal was my wife. Of course it was. Let's see. Gary says, I have Mint Mobile plan in the USA for $15 a month. It includes Wi-Fi calling, which I use. I can also RX text over Wi-Fi. Should work as long as I have Wi-Fi and a VPN in the Philippines. What do you think? If it's a Wi-Fi phone, yes, it should. It sounds like Magic Jack, which has Magic app. It sounds almost the same. Michael L. Condo might be hard to sell if one wanted to move to another area. Yeah, it's true. Jeannie Torres, she's talking to the other lady, says, hi, Naomi. Let's see. Eternal Bliss, good evening from sunny North Sweden. There we go. We got another Swede on here. I'm Swedish also. You probably might have seen my shirt the other day. I actually have relatives in Sweden too, from Malmo, Sweden. I don't know if you guys know where Malmo is. Yes, look at the virtual mailbox. No. So when did you purchase your first stock and when did you start trading? I've been trading all my life, Ken. I've been trading all my life, and I've done pretty good. I've lost money, I've made money, but lately I've been doing really, really well. The stock market's kind of funny right now. And I like this lady, Kathy Wood, you know. I would not, let's see, Maximus says, I would not be surprised that Rike's positive test was actually a false positive. The people in charge of the testing want to make money from the tests and hotel quarantine before the foreigner leaves. Maybe, you know, it's possible. I don't know. Wells Family Journal, I have been burned in 2 houses in PI. I'm never buying again. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. That's why I tell people just rent it. The rent is so cheap here. It's just the way to go. Ephraim says, you have good channel, don't stop. I don't plan on stopping, Ephraim. You know, I'm going to keep it this way. I don't try to change anything. Maybe someday at some point I'll change a little bit, but I'm not sure how I'm going to change it. But, you know, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to put Patreon and all that junk on. I can tell you that right now. God bless Steve and your beautiful fam always. And keep up the good work. Good night from Tokyo. Have a good night. I'm excited to watch your next vlog. Cheers. And Eternal Bliss says, yes, indeed. Let's see. Blue Fate says, the Philippine Info Channel. I'm 30-year-old. I have about 500,000 pounds. Should I move to the Philippines? 500,000 pounds. I think that, I'm not sure how much that is in US dollars. I think it's a lot, but I'm not sure. Could you live over here? If you invested it right and you were kicking off some good funds off of that, you might be able to. I think that's over. I think it's worth. I think the pound is like worth more than $1. So yeah, you could probably do it. I'd have to really, you know, spin my brain over that one for a while. I could talk to you over the phone if you ever want to, and we can talk about it on there. I will exactly get SRRV. Yeah, it's a good it's a good idea. Yes, I worked for, let's see, DJ Kuhn says, yes, I worked for World Health for 40 years in Asian Africa region. So I had lots of vaccines over the years and got third shot booster. Okay. And Brick says, SPG is worth a look. It is a REIT too. I'm thinking real estate is a good inflation play. Yeah. SRET is, look how much it went down at the beginning of the COVID thing, and look how much it has to go back up to that area again. So that's why I think SRET is a good deal. Okay, so if we're going to talk about stocks on here a little bit. John Wales says, Gary Gibson, I'm doing that with AT&T, but you have to leave the airplane mode turned at all times. Let's see. Yeah, you put on airplane mode to shut off the data over here. That's what a lot of people do. Or you can go in and shut off your cell data. Otherwise, you use up all your data because your phone keeps reaching out for more information, more stuff on your apps. That's the problem with having a phone over here. You have to shut your data off. See, Wells family says, Steve, I need to go pay bills and mortgage stuff. Fun. We'll catch another vlog soon. Thanks for your words and info. Thanks, Wells family journey. Let's see, John Wells. Thanks, John. Jeannie, thanks, sir. Steve, stay healthy and take care. Yeah, I'm gonna get going myself, guys. We've been on here for like 86, like in 2 or 3 nights, and we'll do another midnight one, guys. But I just want to say good, guys. Let me see. We'll do one more. Galloway says, Steve, do you think the veteran SRV courtesy visa will survive after they figure out the China problem? Yes, I do. I do think that will, because they get a lot of good people over here on that. You know, I think it has paid off pretty well for them and worked out pretty well. So I do think that that'll be one of the things that gets saved. But I think they're gonna be looking into the China thing more. I mean, look at that video that I did on it. Okay, Galloway. Let me see. We got one. Let's see. Luck Albert. Hi, Steve. I've been to Thailand and Cambodia a few times and plan on the Philippines next. What is the food like there? I prefer local, but nothing too weird. Yeah, food's pretty decent. There's nothing really overly weird here. It's just a little different. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care, and be looking for me in about 2 more nights. 1 or 2 more nights. I might even come on tomorrow night. We'll see. Okay, guys? But probably in about 2 nights, I'll do another 12 midnight one. And probably be doing a couple of day ones, 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. in the morning, somewhere around there. But God bless, guys. Take care.